Yes, sirree, and a very good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. We're making it to the end of another year. Thank you, Lord. Pilgrims, a very good morning to you. I'm George Grant saying thank you for joining us and welcome to the December, the 29th day of December, 2019. And as I said, we've made it through another year. Boy, so much to be grateful for in spite of everything. It's all here. How you look at things, how we look at things. We have a great program, but I think you're going to be a little bit surprised today because as far as I can recall, this is the first time in the 15 years that we've been doing this program. You know that at the end of January we'll have completed 15 years, okay, since we started doing this program. And as far as I can recall, it's the first time that we do not have editorials for you. Can you believe that? Holiday season, so I suspect that the new today is not here today because it's the holiday season. They're giving their staff some time off. The new today, the Grenada Advocate, however, advised me this past week that there will not be any more editorials for the time being anyway. I don't know what's going on there, but it seems like they may be on a bit of a hiatus. I hope that things are okay with them and that in the new year, Froggy, in the new year, they will be saying, hey, we're back. But today, no Grenada Advocate, no new today. So I'm going to ask you guys to keep us very busy this morning. And when you listen to the rundown in just a couple of minutes, you'll find that we have a couple of very interesting things. I only have one person coming in here this morning, and you'll find out who she is in just a wee bit. But we're going to be joined electronically by, I think, 3 others. One is in New York. The other one is God knows where. And the third one is in Georgia. Okay? So before we get into the rundown, let me say a quick hello. I'm anxious to see who's there this morning on the final Sundays with George Grant for the year. And here they are. Ernesto wins the race this morning. Congratulations, sir. Charmaine DeLille is sending God's blessings to everyone. And our good friend, Penny Crawley, who's up there in the mountains. How's it, Penny? Snowing? Cold? Penny's up there in northern Quebec. And, you know, we've been talking on Messenger. She keeps on trying to be the first to log on. If I'm not mistaken, she won recently, just once. But obviously she keeps trying and trying. And she looks here and she sees that Ernesto is first. So she says, Ernesto must live there. Yeah, Penny, I know it takes a little while for the signal to get out to you folks wherever you are. It's been pretty good. You know, I actually called Digicel a couple of days ago. Despite all the hassles we've had, you know me already, I like to give credit where credit is due. And I complimented them on the fact that we have been having some excellent service in the past few months, which I really do appreciate because, boy, you folks have been through a living hell, hey? You know what I'm talking about? But things seem to have quieted down, smoothened out, or not being bugged anymore, for the time being anyway, and I hope that I'm not speaking too soon. But, so yes, Penny, the signal takes, I would say, a maximum of about 30 seconds to go from here to where you are. So yes, maybe Ernesto sits there by the computer, just waiting until the clock says 9 o'clock, and then ping! So he's first. Well, whatever. Hello there, Dennis. Dennis says it's a bright and sunny day here in London. Dennis and Christine, his dear wife. He's the only person who always includes his wife when he says hello, Dennis and Christine. I haven't met these guys, but I'm really looking forward to one of these days. Margaret is saying, good morning, folks. On this, the last day of Sunday 2019. Blessings to all. Max, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much for chiming in. Nutris Williams is saying, good morning, George. Theorello saying, good morning all on this, our last Sunday of 2019. Happy New Year. Looking forward to 2020. Yeah, aren't we all? I am. Despite everything, man, I am really upbeat and optimistic. You have to be, or else you go cuckoo. Somebody flew over the cuckoo's nest. TF Richards is saying that he's on the road. Well, TF is in Tennessee this morning, and we do expect, I'm finally going to get to see this guy face to face on that monitor. TF is one of the people who will be joining us later on this morning. Kipling Francis sending blessings. Oswin Lewis is saying good morning. She just came from the beach. How's it down there this morning, Oswin? Just don't keep reminding me of the beach, eh? I miss it. And James Celestine is saying good morning to you guys. Kathy Roberts saying good morning and a happy Sunday. Kathleen Thomas is wishing you guys a happy new year. Oh, Penny's responding to us here by saying it's mild here in the northern Quebec mountains, but a huge amount of snow coming. 35 to 40 centimeters. That's about 16 inches. Well, I extend my sympathy to you, Penny. And, just recently I was thinking, boy, yeah, I enjoy the weather we have down here, but I do miss the snow. I do miss the snow. Call me crazy, if you will, but I do miss the snow, maybe because I don't have to shovel it. Okay? Who else is there? John Franco, hello there, Johnny boy. Where's the other John this morning? John Nozinek. Must have had a hard night last night. Slow getting out of bed this morning, John. But anyhow, John Franco, hold the fort. One half of the Vespri couple is here this morning. Bradley's saying good morning. And Davini Leo says, good morning, classmates. Thanking God for another year. It was a very informative one. Thank you all for my educational classes. Well, yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And you guys make it all worth it, hey? Thank you. How many times am I going to say thank you? Just can't stop. Okay, so now that we've said the initial batch of good mornings, let us take a look here and see what's cooking over the next 3 hours. Wow, can you believe it? 10 minutes into the program already. Hang on a sec, before we get to the rundown. Ernesto says, Penny, Penny was saying a little while ago that Ernesto must be here. Well, Ernesto is saying, Penny, I log in 1 minute before the program starts. Oh, so now we know the secret. But you know what? Starting tomorrow morning, everybody's going to go try and log in 1 minute before the program starts. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, okay. Into the rundown we go. We begin, as always, with the buzz. We have, as always, no better way to get started. A reading from the Holy Scriptures. And yes, she's with us this morning. Again, short and sweet, little angel. Yeah. Okay. As far as the editorials are concerned, if you're looking at the rundown there on the Facebook page, you see that we don't have nothing this morning from the newspapers. They got some time off. You know, I don't like to envy anybody, but how come they get to take time off and I don't? No fair. But you know what? I bet they don't have nearly as much fun as I do sitting in this chair. Yeah. Comfortable. It's not actually a rocking chair, but sometimes I turn it into one. So no editorials today. Instead, we've got a couple of features for you this morning. Grenada events. Yeah. I'm gonna ask you to check in with us this morning by phone. In addition to posting your stuff there on Facebook, check in with us by phone. The number, don't call me now. I repeat, do not call me now. But you can call me on my regular phone line, which is, if you're outside of Grenada, it's 473-415-0631. It's right there on the page. You can check it out. And you can also, that same number, you can also WhatsApp. All right? Now, two main features this morning. First one starts at about 15, 16, 17 minutes or so from now, I hope. Yes, sirree. It is captioned, "Reaching out for the opportunities that exist in 2020. By the way, this Sunday morning's no better time to think about the opportunities. Are you looking for opportunities too? Or are you just willing to sit back and let the world go by? I hope not. I hope not. Try and enjoy life to the full. And Grenada needs you. So try and be productive. Look for something that you could do. You know, you hear a lot of talk about the economy and the social ills, agriculture, tourism, health. Maybe in some small way. I bet you're kind of broke like me, right? So you don't have a lot of millions to pump into Grenada. But there may be a little opportunity out there for you to help in some tiny, teeny-weeny little way. Keep your eyes open for the opportunities that are coming up in 2020. Make your contribution. All of us here on the forum and everywhere would really appreciate it, okay? So we're all going to do our little part. I'm looking for some opportunities, and I'm not going to go into any detail right now, but I'm asking you to keep your eyes open, because in the new year, sometime hopefully in January, you'll start to see that, you know, hey, George has been looking for opportunities. Yeah, well, give him a little pat on the back there. Yes, yeah. Can't think of anything better to do with my life than to serve you and this country, by extension, better. Okay? So, as far as the opportunities are concerned, the person you're going to be hearing this morning is a gentleman by the name of Dennis Shaws. Dennis has been with us a couple of times in the past. He's based in Atlanta, I think it is, Georgia. And yesterday, I was talking to him, and that's how this whole thing came about, you know. He has some dreams and aspiration for agriculture. There is somebody who's looking for opportunities. He's in the world of finance, but now he's looking for some opportunities in agriculture as well. So I said, hey man, why don't you join us tomorrow morning? And so, Dennis is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour this morning, okay? If you find me going a little bit slow this morning, it's because I'm trying to kill some time here because we don't have editorials. No editorials for you this morning. So that's the reason why. I'm expecting Dennis at 9:30, about 13 minutes or so from now. So I'm just gonna hang with you for a little while. Main feature this morning is captioned. Where are the good old days when you need them? You know, you don't even have to go out on the street. I mean, you sit in your home and your phone rings and somebody's complaining about this and complaining about that. The world is all topsy-turvy. And sometimes, you know, in our little nook and cranny here, we seem to think we're the only people in the world who have problems. Horse feathers. The entire world sort of spinning out of control. It ain't out of control. God's still in control. But it seems like everything's just, Well, that's causing a lot of people to remember the good old days. And to be honest with you, a lot of us are just wishing, in some cases, that the good old days would return. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. But we have to learn to live with what lays ahead for us. Over the past year, you've seen me play some pieces on this program and on the Good Day program, Good Day Grenada program, done by Anthony DeRiggs. Anthony is an author and a poet. He's now working on another book, which I found out yesterday should be out around the middle of next year. And Anthony loves to reminisce, does these little pieces and talks about the old time days, you know, whether it's the traditions, whether it's the people, whether it's the food, whatever. And I asked him to join us this morning so we could talk a bit about the good old days. And he is going to be joined by a historian. Now, this lady, she's absolutely no stranger to us here in Grenada. Her name's Beverley Steele. She's been on this program a couple of times, but a long, long time ago. And Beverley tries to avoid the media these days. But when I explained to her what I want to do this morning, she jumped at the opportunity. So she's going to be joining Anthony this morning. And boy, I can't wait to have her come sit in that chair back here again this morning. Oh, by the way, I forgot to put this up. Yeah. There's your rundown. Better late than never. So Beverley's going to be joining us. Somebody who has been with us an awful lot on Good Day Grenada and sometimes on this particular program via social media is a name you probably recognize, T.F. Richards. TF is all over the States, and as you heard this morning, he's in Tennessee this morning. Well, guess what? I extended an invitation to TF yesterday to join us. He's going to be joining us this morning. And by the way, that particular segment we hope to get started at about 10:30 this morning, the good old days. There's one little footnote I want to add. At the start of that program, I'm going to play a little bit of music for you. Yes, sirree. Yeah. A calypso titled Bring Back the Good Old Days. Yeah. I remember that very well. That gives you an idea of how old this thing is, eh? But I clearly remember it. And when last night, apparently Anthony DeRiggs came across this thing and decided to send it to me. And I thought, bang, I got to share that this morning. And no better way than to start the segment with Bring Back the Days, good old days. Check it out. I'm sure you're going to remember that as well. Check it out. Okay, so there's your little rundown for this morning. Now, let me get back here to social media. Hang on a sec here. Hang on a sec here. And scroll back. Okay, Michael Alexander saying good morning, class, and a happy Sunday to you guys. Nutris Williams says, I'm looking forward to 2020. 2019 has been a challenging year for me. Blessings. God is good. Hey, Nutris, you and I are in the same headspace, girl. There are times when I thought, never make it through this year. Never did. Here we are. Here we are. And we got a long way to go, girl. Isaac Opie says, good morning, George and class, and a fruitful 2020 to all on this planet. Well, thank you for your wishes, Opie. We wish you the very same. John Franco says, I am and have been a heavy-duty mechanic certified in hydraulics. What can I do? Keep them hydraulics running. Hey, John, listen. There's got to be some way. You know, maybe somebody might come into your shop one of these days, up a creek, because their hydraulics gone bad, and they're just lost. Help them. Maybe you can think of ways to help other hydraulic mechanics improve the caliber of service that they offer. Sit and talk with them. Put your heads together. There are ways. Erica Mitchell says, happy last Sunday of 2019. Let us make it a great one. Best of wishes to everyone for 2020 and blessings always. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate the time you spent with us. Sonia McKee-John says, good morning and all the best for 2020 and beyond. Ernesto, just for this morning, just for this morning, let's try and keep things positive. Just for this morning. You know, I'm going to share your comment. Ernesto says, we've been boasting about the economy is booming while our roads are cracking. Oh, God. Just for this morning, let's cheer people up. Please? Please. Thank you. Sonia McKee says, maybe we have to do self-help. Well, good point there, Sonia, you know. There are a lot of scholarships being offered all over the place. A lot of scholarships. And maybe you might want to upgrade your education. I don't see too much of it happening here in the Caribbean, but you know, in developed countries, there are people who are going after things like a master's degree at the age of 60, 70, 80 years old. They're going back to school and trying to learn new things and how to take themselves to the next level, even at that late stage of life. Yeah. Good point. Thank you very much. So that's the self-help thing, you know. Help yourself, and in the process, open your eyes, open your vision, and see. Things are going to pop up. Doesn't have to be big. Help someone. Nutris Williams seems to agree and says, amen. Francis and Slim says, have a great Sunday, sir. Well, you too, Francis. Have a great time. Saying hi to Grenada. Ernesto says, we did it in the revolution in every village and parish. Mickaman Alexander saying good morning and a blessed Sunday to you guys. Fitzroy Adams is saying good morning, everybody. Hey, Arthur Langine. Arthur Langine is saying good morning from Florida. Arthur is just about, I don't know if he is yet on board, but he's just about to step aboard a cruise ship. It's probably on the way right now. And I did send an invitation to him to join us on the program this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up, but if he doesn't, I'll understand, because sometimes the internet on the cruise ships is not the very best. I also understand it's damn expensive. So Arthur, if you can join us, boy, you would certainly make our day. Kelvin Lois saying good morning. I realize, Guyana, almost about to sell oil. What's going on with our oil? It's frightening. Barb Searle says, can't change our past, but we can change our future. Thank you for your contributions to our people and our country. Blessings and happiness in 2020. You're so kind, Barb. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you. John says, good morning, George. Late because I was cutting my grass, but I'm still all ears and eyes now. Well, come on down and cut mine when you're through, okay? John, by the way, your name came up a couple of days ago. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Brian, down at BB's Crabback. Margaret and I popped in to have some lunch at BB's, and boy, the guys in there are so wonderful, so wonderful. We had a whale of a time sitting there. This was like, I think we got there at about 1 o'clock and spent a couple of hours just sitting there on the waterfront. I salute in every way BB's, Brian and his dear wife. They do a marvelous job running that place. And John, I certainly hope you'll call Brian and let him know, because I mean, I just can't wait to get there. Such a lovely setting, and the food, oh my gosh, yeah, drives you crazy. Great stuff. Brian, if you're listening, I know Brian joins us whether he's here or in England. And Brian, thank you so much for your contribution. Now let's see what opportunities you're looking forward to in 2020. I keep threatening one of these days, I'm going to bring my camera in there one of these days. And I want to do a story on BB's Crabback. And especially, this guy's an aficionado when it comes to using spices. Whew. I hope you'll be willing to share a little secret or a couple of secrets with us. Yeah? Okay. Bernard Gilbert saying good morning. Sandra Pascal saying, Mr. Grant, I agree with you. Sometimes you have to let go and let God. Sandra, always, girl. And it ain't as easy as it sounds, eh? It's easy for us to sit here, let go and let God. Ain't that easy. I've had my struggles. But boy, up to this morning, I was thanking him for rewarding my patience. Yeah? And for the love he continues to show me each and every day. He's doing it to you and a lot of other people as well, but a lot of us are just blinded and can't see what's going on. Open your eyes, man. Open your eyes. There's good happening all around us. All around us. John says, Confucius said, there's always someone to learn from. Okay. Roger Mitchell says, good morning, Gigi. A second career is always a good avenue. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe you've been stuck in a rut there for many years. Time to move on. Yeah, try something new. Open your mind, open your vision. Yeah, thank you, Roger. Carlene Vespre says, good morning, George. Continued blessings for 2020. George, we hope to visit with you when we visit in 2020. Oh, that would be wonderful. We'll have the Vespres sitting here. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, man. Yeah. Would be nice. Would be nice. Nutris Williams says, never heard about there. Nutris, I'm not sure where you're referring to, but I'm assuming that since we were talking about BB's is on the Carnage. Do you know where Nawasa is? I think the post office used to be back in that area, the far end of the Carnage. That's where it is. There's also another restaurant right next to it called Sales. Yeah. So if you go past the Ministry of Finance, keep walking right to the end. BB's Restaurant. Check it out, girl. John says, Brian and Anna at BB's have a great new year. Yeah. Wonderful people. Wonderful people. Okay. Whew. 28 minutes away from the hour. Oh. Aline Buddy Hawthorne says, happy Sunday. He's at work, listening from New York. Wow, very kind of you. You're trying to copycat Mags. Mags listens to us on the job as well. A lot of you do, and even TF. Okay, well, I see somebody has already shown up here, and I'm not sure who it is, because all I'm seeing on my monitor is Galaxy Note 8. In other words, there's somebody logged on, but their camera is not turned on. So whoever you are, if you're listening to us, turn on your camera, because we're not seeing you. And until we see you, we can't do anything. All right? I know that at this point in time, we're supposed to have Dennis Charles on. So Dennis, if you're the one with a Galaxy Note device there, cell phone, smartphone, please turn on your camera so that we can see you. Nutris Williams says, when I come home next time. Okay. Claude Button is saying good morning to the class. Good to see you, Claude. Okay, folks, there you have it. That's opening good mornings to you, pilgrims. Let's take a little break here. Hold on a sec. Where you going, boy? You forgot the opening scripture, huh? You're so preoccupied with your friends there, you forgot the opening scripture and little angel. Let's get down to it. Our reading this morning, our first reading comes to you from the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 to 8. Listen to this. Nice way to end the year. If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all his commands I give to you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all of the nations of the earth. All of these blessings will come to you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. The fruit of your womb will be blessed, and the crops of your land and the young of your livestock, the calves of your herds and the lambs of your flocks. Your basket and your kneading trough will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. The Lord will grant that the enemies who rise up against you will be defeated before you. They will come at you from one direction, but flee from you in seven. The Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on everything you put your hand to. The Lord will bless you and the land he's giving to you. Boy, is that a blueprint for 2020? Check it out. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 to 8. All right? Whew. Feel good already. Now, little angel sends what she calls this morning a thank you note. Don't mind if I blush while I read this, as I did last night. Went straight to the heart. Little angel says, Dear George, a thank you note is in order today, the last Sunday of 2019. Please allow me the opportunity to express my appreciation to you and GrenadaBroadcast.com for once again enlightening, educating, and entertaining your listening and viewing audience during the past year. Good Day Grenada, Make We Chat, and Sundays with George Grant, among others, continue to raise the level of awareness of a fortunate few. Ain't that the truth, little angel? Encouraging and reassuring you of unwavering support for the good that you do, particularly in upholding what is true and making it known without fear or favor. The standard of your broadcasting network is rare and uncommon, but absolutely necessary for the survival of people living in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Signed, Little Angel. Folks, Little Angel, thank you. When I read that last night, I thought, boy, I have to come back with some sort of rebuttal. So I sat for a few minutes, and these are the words that came to mind. Please bear with me as I share this with you. It is so nice to know that there are folks out there who genuinely appreciate the work that we do. And it gives me the impetus to keep on going. But I hope it comes as no surprise to you when I say that without you, your support and encouragement, your guidance, your loyalty, your openness, your tolerance, and your burning love of country. What I do here wouldn't even exist without you. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Pat yourself on the back and say, "Thank you, self. Well done." I have no doubt that there are many of us who wish to see better for our country. And we all agree that it's not just going to happen. We have to become more proactive. Every one of us. It's a lot of work to be done. The sad reality is, however, it sometimes seems like the majority are just willing to sit back and point fingers, find fault, malign the good doers, extort the wealth of this country, and expect the world to be handed to us or handed to them on a silver platter. Well, guess what? That delusion is coming to an end. Let them enjoy their last days. Yeah, let them. For God's children, you and I, will prevail in the end. Let's keep on doing what we do, being thankful that we have been called to this purpose. So, to you, little angel, every contributor, every editor, every sponsor, every viewer, every listener, every critic, and yes, every enemy, I say thank you and God bless you. It's been a year of challenges, and you and I have gone through an awful lot. Remember the times when we thought we wouldn't even be here today? Well, guess what? Here we are, by God's grace. Let's just quietly continue in His work together. Okay, folks. Thank you, little angel. I see him now. I see him now. I see him now. There he is. I wonder if he can hear me. Mr. Charles, good morning to you, sir. Mr. Charles is pointing at his ears, signaling to me that he's not hearing me. It might help if you turn on your speakers, or, well, preferably your earphone, because, yep, now that he's better aligned there in the picture, turn on your headphones, sir. He says he's not hearing me, but I'm seeing him. Yeah. Everything's going out of here just fine, sir. Okay, we're going to take a little break. Hold on a sec here. Hold on. Just let me get back to... well, you guys have been busy here. Okay. Ernesto says, Gigi, do you ever think about doing a program on the year in review? As we are going into 2020, everybody else is rushing to do the year in review. Let them do the year in review. Nutris Williams is saying hi to Jenny. She also says he deserves a medal. Who is he, Nutris? Please. And she says, that's you, George. My medal awaits in heaven, Nutris. And she also says here, well said. Ernesto says, little angel, Gigi is doing what lots of people would like to do, but afraid of the discrimination that follows. I took off my hat. I'm saying thank you, Gigi. Okay. All right, folks, just in case you didn't believe me, take a look. There he is, Dennis Charles. Dennis, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Say something, Dennis. He ain't hearing me. But I know that you folks out there are hearing me, so I can't understand why he's not hearing me. Anyhow, we're going to take a little break here, and see if we can get Dennis sorted out. We'll be back.
GrenadaBroadcast continues to celebrate 25 years of partnership and growth. So this December, we're giving every customer the chance to spin and win. Just pay your bill in full on or before December 18th. Then, on Wednesday, December 18th, join us at any GrenadaBroadcast customer care location. Spin to win giveaways that will make this season even more festive. Hams, groceries, gift vouchers, wine, electricity vouchers, and more. Join the celebration. December 18th, spin and win with GrenadaBroadcast. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Welcome home.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
On behalf of the Hardware and Appliance Department, we would like to thank you, the customers, for shopping with us throughout the year of 2019.
And we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous 2020.
Season's greetings from your family at the food fair. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We here at the Hubbard's Lumber Department would like to say happy holidays to one and all. Thanks for your support and all the best for the 2020.
Happy holidays and warm wishes for 2020 from the management and staff of Hubbard's Agency Department.
On behalf of the management and staff of Jonas Brown and Hubbard's Building Supplies, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, our valued customers, for your support during the year 2019. And we look forward to your continued patronage throughout the year 2020. Happy holidays to you.
From the management and staff of the Hubbard's Motor Department,
we thank you for your continued support throughout the year. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a productive 2020.
Happy holidays!
All right. For some reason, Dennis is still not hearing me, but I know that you guys out there are, so seems to me like he may not have got his little thingy there properly configured. But in the meantime, let's see here. Jennifer Myers says, Nutris, good morning. don't you just love this program? Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you guys. Lori Bridgman says, good morning, comrades. George, you said someone from Atlanta will be on this morning on the topic of agriculture. What about Mrs. Campbell, who was on your program a few months ago, striving to make a difference? Mrs. Campbell? Mrs. Campbell? I don't remember a Mrs. Campbell striving to make a difference in agriculture. A promise was made to update viewers, and his archive meant, is that DOA? Is that dead on arrival? Lori, I do not remember having a Mrs. Campbell on this program talking about agriculture. I do recall a long time ago, I had one Mr. Campbell, Dunstan Campbell. If I'm not mistaken, Dunstan is a senator. After that, I followed up with him and invited him back. And he promised he would get back to me. Well, still waiting. And believe me, I just don't have the time to go chasing, okay? Open door policy, extend the invitation, welcome everybody. But you know, when you keep getting the runaround. Okay. Isaac Opie says, speak and we will read your lips, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, can you hear me? No, Mr. Charles is not hearing me. But everything here is configured, and obviously you guys out there are hearing us. Jennifer Myers say, good morning to you, George. Season's greetings from New York. Missing my sweet home, Grenada. So much at this time of year. I can imagine how you feel, girl. Especially when it starts snowing here. Benjamin Rouget says, good morning. Good health and happiness throughout 2020, Gigi. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing yourself and resources. God bless you. Benjamin, I really do appreciate that, and I thank you for being there. Claude Putna says, thank you, Mr. Grant, for education throughout the year. And Little Angel, you guys are awesome. Not forgetting my classmates. Once again, thanks. Ernesto is asking you guys to share the program. Well, Dennis. Why are we not hearing Dennis? Let me send a little note here asking him we're suggesting that he reboot. Hang on a sec. Where is it? I think you hearing me now? Are you hearing me? He was just giving me the thumbs up. Okay, so he's hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. Is your microphone turned on? Is this the same computer you used before? Okay. If you don't believe me, take a look. Hold on a sec here. There he is. Dennis, give me a thumbs up and let me show the folks that you are hearing me now. Thumbs up. But I'm not hearing you, sir. I'm not hearing you. So at least he's got his headphone plugged in now. You hear me? I'm not hearing you. I guess you're telling me that you are hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. His wife is showing him where to put his thumb. Oh, Dennis, yes, I see your thumb. I know that you're hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. Turn on your microphone, Dennis. Turn on your microphone. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, Dennis, 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 Dennis. Dennis, Dennis, hold on a second here, hold on a second. Let me see if we could experiment with something a little bit differently. Hello? He's hearing us. We ain't hearing him. Yeah. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. See, he's nodding his head, so I think he's trying to tell us that he is hearing us. But why aren't we hearing him? Dennis, I know that you're hearing me, and that's great news. Now he's frozen. Oh, Dennis, Dennis. See, he's hearing us. He's hearing us. But we're not hearing you, Dennis. Oh, my goodness. All right, all right. Dennis, you want to try plugging in your headphone? Do you have a set of headphones or, you know, some earplugs or something you can plug in? Look, he's frozen now. He's having some problems with his little doohickey there this morning. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Dennis, Dennis, Dennis. Hello, Deborah Parker Stratus Robinson. She's saying good morning to us. Nice to see you, Debbie. Hope you and the family had a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. God bless you. And Arthur Langine says, Sunday morning, Brother Dennis, waiting to hear what you have to say. Deborah says, Dennis, she says, I agree. Maybe he used the phone on speakerphone. Well, it's not just the phone that's a problem. Right now, he is frozen solid. So I'll tell you what. Dennis, if you're still hearing me, may I suggest that you disconnect, reboot your computer, turn it off, turn it back on. And, you know, sometimes that solves the problem. Isaac says, some of us can lip read, so please. Well, I don't know how many of us can lip read, but good idea. Okay, folks, break time, and we'll keep on trying.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That's why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Christmas safety tips. Always unplug Christmas tree lights before leaving home or going to sleep. Check your tree lights and outdoor lights for damage each year before you use them. Discard lights with frayed wires, loose connections, and cracked sockets. Do not overload your wall outlets or extension cords. Remind children never to touch lights or outlets. Select lights appropriately. Never use indoor lights outside or vice versa. Happy holidays from Grenada.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Alrighty, folks. Obviously, the gremlins are at work this morning because now I'm not hearing him, and apparently he's not hearing me either. But we know that things are going out of here well, so. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And you know what? When he did log out a little while ago, and when he came back, and you know when somebody joins you on Skype or Zoom, you hear a chime. I heard the chime. So obviously the link between here and there is okay, but for some reason his microphone is not capturing his voice. So M. Claudius says have him go into his sound setting and test his microphone. Wait. Well, he's not hearing me right now, so I can't tell him to do that. Oh. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me type a little chat to him. Okay, I've sent that note to him. The thing is, I'm not sure he's even paying attention to the chat. Well, folks, how are you going to keep me busy for the next, let me see here, 27 minutes or so, because we've got some other people who are supposed to be joining us there. Anthony DeRiggs, and we also have Beverley. Well, Beverley's coming to sit right here. So we'll get there. See, there is her empty chair waiting, and she'll be here at 10:30. My. And I hope this problem doesn't linger because, you know what? T.F. Richards is supposed to be joining us as well at the bottom of the hour. Now, T.F., I know that you're on the road somewhere in Tennessee, so maybe, TF, if you could just try and log in there, and we'll see if that problem is actually with Dennis, or hey, I'm open to the possibility that it may even be down here. But I do know that audio is going out because you folks out there on social media are hearing us. Dennis is getting a little bit frustrated. There he is. There he is. Dennis. Okay, so TF, yeah, if you're there, And also Anthony DeRiggs is supposed to be joining us. So, but they're not due until about 10:30. That's 25 minutes or so from now. But if you guys just happen to be, by the way, monitoring the program, yeah, it would be nice. Log in and we'll see what happens. Oh boy, oh boy. Ryan is saying prosperous New Year 2020. New Year's party last night and late waking, streaming well. Yeah, Ryan, thank you. I know that we're going out well, but our good buddy is having a little issue out there in Georgia this morning. He's as bewildered as I am. Let me see if I can pull you up. So, there he is. There he is. Oh, poor old Dennis. Poor old Dennis. Oh, no, that's gone. Oh, there he is. Dennis. Huh? Oh, Dennis. Okay, okay. So, what do you guys want to talk about? How well or how badly did you behave over the holiday season? Hey, what are your plans for? What are your plans for Tuesday night? Yeah? Whatever. I want to remind you that it's not all about how much alcohol you can consume, okay? Just be sure you do everything in moderation, right? And remember that the cops are out there in full force. They begun doing these breathalyzers. Okay, hold on a sec now. TF?
Good morning.
Ah, see, the problem is definitely with Dennis, because there's TF on the road.
Yeah, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yeah, there he is. And the man's driving a big rig. How are you this morning, TF?
I'm good. I'm heading to Texas, but right now I'm going through Tennessee.
Okay, okay. And what's the weather up there like? I hope you don't have any snow to deal with.
No, it's supposed to rain today, but it's presently like 68 degrees, so it's okay.
Okay, so far so good.
So far so good.
Now you're actually based in Georgia, right?
No, I'm based in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So you're based in Brooklyn. Okay. And how long?
I live in Brooklyn.
Pardon me?
I live in Brooklyn.
Okay, you live in Brooklyn, and but you're all over the United States. Seems like every time I hear from you, you're in a different state.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been in the U.S.?
Just a little over 2 years.
And what part of Grenada are you from?
Snug Corner.
Snug Corner. Okay.
Right opposite the Spice Basket.
Okay. At this time of the year, do you really miss Grenada a lot?
Yeah, sort of.
What do you miss most about Grenada, apart from the black cake?
The Christmas is different up here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, West Indians living in North America, they have access to a lot of the goodies we have down here. First of all, their family and friends down here send a lot of stuff up to them. And
yeah.
And then a lot of the shops up there, I mean, the West Indian shops up there, especially in Brooklyn, man, you guys have access to everything.
Yeah, there are a lot of Grenadians up here who still do the pastries and cakes and stuff, so that part of it, you don't miss it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, this morning, oh, by the way, here's another face. Anthony, I want you to get your face in the middle of the screen, please, sir.
What happened?
Okay, Anthony's turned off his camera. Hang on a sec there, Tia. I see Dennis nodding his head now. Dennis, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
There he is. Thank you, Lord. There's Dennis. Good morning. Say hi to TF and say hi to Anthony.
Yes, good morning, folks. I'm very sorry for the little technical glitch. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. I want you guys to be safe, and hopefully all your resolutions are kept and fulfilled for 2020. I'm very sorry for the glitch that we had, but we are experiencing a little storm passing through. So
Okay.
it just knocked the internet out completely.
So we've got you sorted out now, Dennis, and we've got TF sorted out. Let's see if we can get Anthony sorted out. Anthony looks like he's frozen solid. Are you hearing me, Anthony? 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 Geez, I was speaking to Anthony. We did a dry run a day or so ago. And Anthony was working just beautifully. So what happened? Anthony? By the way, TF, Ryan, who's listening to you in Orlando, says, TF, careful driving on the slick roads.
Thank you, brother.
They're looking out for you, man. Anthony, good
Yeah,
morning.
but it's not slick yet.
Anthony.
You are exceeding the posted speed limit.
Okay. Dennis, you hearing me?
I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, great. Now, Dennis, we had allocated about 45 minutes for you, and about half an hour that's already gone.
Yes.
So let's just talk a little bit about opportunities. I know that you're somebody in the financial world, and you keep your eyes open for opportunities, and this is how we began this dialogue this morning. Tell me about some of the opportunities you see here for Grenadians in 2020.
Yes. Okay, I want to say something happened. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you fine.
Okay. I want to say thank you again for your invite on the program this morning. 2 months ago, I returned to Grenada for a brief look, just to survey the land a little bit, looking for opportunities. I want to return, I would say, if it's not next year, probably within the next 4 years, I want to return home permanently and contribute. But what I've seen driving around and scoping the scene, we tend to believe that investments or opportunities are only there for foreigners. And it is something wrong. It's a concept that we have to change. No foreign person coming into a country like Grenada is coming to build. And we have to wrap our minds around that. We give concessions, tax breaks and all of that, but they come in to exploit. We have to be real. Make their money, send the money back to their home country, not necessarily to build. So it would take Grenadians to return in droves to rebuild the country. There are upwards of 200,000 Grenadians living outside of Grenada compared to inside. So we have twice as many Grenadians outside the country as inside the country. That's a lot in the diaspora. So take England, Toronto, Canada, other parts of Europe, etc., Trinidad, all over the place. We have talent that we can bring to bear on the economy back home. And Grenadians reaching retirement age, returning with their pension or any investment or retirement account, contributing their expertise in various fields. That is what is needed. Grenadians rebuilding their own country. Not this fallacy about foreign investors and all sorts of schemes. That's a joke. It would never happen. So from what I saw, I drove around Grenville. I'm from St. Andrews. And every store, almost, that I went into, there is a foreigner selling. I have no problems with our Indian brethren and investors and all of that. Fine, I don't have no problem with that. But we cannot have our economy dominated by foreigners. We need our own folks from England, from Toronto, from Brooklyn, New York, coming back, contributing to the medical field, to whatever field they want to contribute. That is growth. That is empowerment. You call that financial, economic empowerment. That is what we need, not outsiders, okay? Anyhow, I want to talk a little bit about agriculture. It's the base of our economy, and it will remain so. Tourism is part of it, and the hotels and all of that happening in Grenada. I think they're building about 2 large 5-star hotels in Lasajes, I believe, and so on. I have no problem with that. But we have to look at the concessions given to these multinationals, you know, to come in and set up shop. Would they restrict access for local people to go to the beach? How much would we retain? Because we give them so much tax breaks and so forth. How much would the economy in Grenada take from their exploitation? In other words, we have to put a handle on the managers and the top tier workers. You know, we might get a little security job here and there, maybe somebody to wash dishes and clean the yard and all of that. That's not development. The bulk of the income generated by those activities cannot be paid to people that they bring in from the outside. We have to empower our locals to get the top tier jobs and plow back that money in the local economy. That is development. So the whole concept of foreign investors. Yeah, you're there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the whole concept of foreign investors coming in and they would build and all of that, that's a joke. It doesn't happen. It never will. Okay? We are the ones, after we have acquired whatever learning and skills and all of that abroad, we come back and contribute to the economy. One, I want to talk about medical marijuana a little bit. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. But St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I think they're leading the way in producing medical marijuana. There is a huge market abroad for that. Cannabis-based products. We have the School of Medicine we could partner with. They could help extract all the medicinal components from the plant and export it abroad. And we could make millions with all the wasted lands that we have all over the country. There's a lot we can do. Ecotourism is something that is good too. We have hiking trails. We have Fedo Camp. It is well known, it's famous. Seven Sisters Waterfall. Annadale Fall. I heard it's sold, I don't know. We have the Welcome Stone in Livera, overlooking Livera. All those areas can be developed, right? And attract millions to our shows. It's not only Granans. We have to diversify a bit from the Granans frame of mind, the St. George frame of mind. We have to have an approach where we empower all the other parishes in the country, not only St. George's, creating opportunities for growth and development. So we have to have that mindset, broad-based and diversified, balanced approach.
All right, Dennis.
Now, I have generalized and I'll get into specifics right now.
All right, hold on, Dennis. We really don't have an awful lot of time. We only have about 9 minutes left. But, you know, essentially what I'm hearing you talk about here is a change in mindset. We need to have a change in mindset. Okay? Now, you also talked about agriculture. Give me some specific areas where you see an awful lot of potential for the development of agriculture.
Yes. Recently, I read a report that in Barbados, they are experimenting with breadfruit flour. I came from the countryside, St. Andrews, and there are lots of trees, breadfruit trees, round the clock throughout the year that produce fruits. We could slice, we could fry, we could package and make breadfruit chips, just like you eat potato chips, right? We have fruits such as guava, gospo. We blend that with passion fruit, whatever it is, and we make our own drinks. We could package. Grenada should not be importing juice or sugar water from Trinidad. We have better quality of water from there, you know? We should not. So there is a lot we can do. In terms of soursop, I ate some ice cream, soursop ice cream in Grenville, actually in Soubise. I was going through St. David's. Man, it tasted so good I had to lick my finger, right? Okay, we could export more of that. We do export soursop, but in the raw form. It is better to add value to semi-process. Like in the case of Juve chocolate or Belmont, Belmont Estate, they are producing chocolate too. We have mangoes. They fall on the ground and rot. Nobody's doing anything. Damsel, tamarind. We could make juice. We could always blend, make a cocktail, and have our own fruit punch in Grenada. We're not supposed to be importing those things from foreign countries. And I have nothing against Trinidad, but it doesn't make sense. We have more fruits than them, but we let ours rot. Now, the GDP, well, I don't want to get into economic things, but Grenada imports somewhere around $36 million. I mean, $196 million a year, and export something to the tune of 36 million. So there is an opportunity there to cut down on our imports and try to export more to generate foreign currency. So government and private citizens should focus on developing what we have. We have enough. They spoil, right? And I don't know, maybe the banks should be a little bit more sensitive to helping set up maybe factory shells and all of that, if the government want to partner with it, and provide the space for locals to produce in a more sanitary environment some of the things that just waste around the place, and we can generate income from that. So the opportunities are there.
Okay,
ecotourism.
Dennis,
yes.
Dennis, I don't think you'll get any argument when you suggest that some of the banks are a stumbling block, one of the stumbling blocks, okay? But there's a comment here from somebody named M. Claudius McLeod. He says, Dennis, one of the biggest obstacles one meets in investing in Grenada is family, who, instead of seeking to form alliances to assure success, choose to fight and obstruct because of jealousy and short-sighted interests. What say you?
I could say yes to that, but I believe going into the new year, we have to focus more on positive energy. We could always get instances of, families letting you down, stealing from you. I know folks that send clothes and other items to sell back home, and the families wouldn't give them a cent or account for whatever it is they did with the monies and so on. Yes, but sometimes we have to look beyond the bend, get over the obstacle, and be optimistic.
All right, here's another comment.
We would always be able to find something negative.
Here's a comment from Jean Pasco. She says, my goodness, Dennis, you are so correct about the concessions given to foreign entities. What concessions are given to local people? Nothing.
None. Because our frame of mind is not there.
Isn't that a little bit extremist? Because I'm sure that locals do get concessions, but somehow it seems to me that what is largely lacking is the know-how to go ahead and set up a business. You know, there are a lot of great ideas running around this country, Dennis. No shortage of great ideas, okay? But people just may not know how to pursue the development. What say you?
That is correct, but also government has to be an enabler. Government has to partner, to encourage, to sort of lead the way, you know what I'm saying? And in many instances, we don't have ministries to talk about. Those who won the seats, they control the entire constituency, even if they don't know anything about anything, right? So we don't have functioning government ministries that one can go and sit with a minister who is knowledgeable, experienced, let's say talk about producing some kind of product, I don't know, whatever it is, and talking about assistance and helping with marketing strategies and all of that. There is nothing like that in Grenada, It's like the blind leading the blind. So the way the country is being run right now under this government, there must be a change. We have to put back functioning ministries with ministers or supporters who know how to enable, how to encourage, how to support growth and development.
All right, Dennis, I'll tell you what. We're only just touching the surface here, okay? Because of the technical difficulty we had with your setup this morning, we lost a lot of time, but I'd like to have you come back at some other time. I don't want to keep my other guest waiting, but I'd like to have you come back at some other time, and we can go a little bit deeper into what you just started talking about. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good with me because I have a whole book, of information. I come prepared, very prepared, but I'm sorry for the little problem I had. We had a little storm, and that cut us out maybe half an hour or so. Okay. So until next time, I'll watch this show and God bless him.
Well, I'll tell you what, listen, man, I really wouldn't mind if you hung on, if you, after what you've been through already this morning, if you got some time on your hands, you can keep us company. I want you to take a quick look here. See that lady? See that lady sitting here? That lady just came in here, and there she is, waving at you guys. That's Beverley Steele. Beverley, do you know? Hold on a second. Beverley, do you know Dennis?
I know of him. I've never met him in person.
Okay.
And this is going to be a treat because I've never seen him live, really.
There he is.
And I know this thing is almost virtual reality. So, hi Dennis, at last, and I hope one day in the flesh.
And then...
Yeah, we would meet one day soon. Actually, I'm coming down early next year. I want to lay the groundwork for my return.
Wonderful,
I gotta
wonderful.
do something.
So give me some warning.
Yeah, we will meet.
Okay, great.
And then right next to Dennis at the bottom, he's kind of jittery this morning, but that's a gentleman I'm sure you know, Mr. Anthony DeRiggs.
Well, like Dennis, I've never met in the flesh, but I think we are good friends. Hi, Wendell.
Hi.
Wendell, I need you to... Hold on, Dennis. Wendell, I need you to get your face in the center of the frame, please. Tilt your camera or your laptop or whatever forward so we have a little room beneath your... No.
The other way.
The other way. We need your face. Come on, Wendell.
All right.
A little more. Come on, Wendell.
In 3.25 miles, exit right.
We're getting there. Okay, so there's Wendell. We can hear and see Wendell, and here's Beverley. Now, up to the top right there is this gentleman is actually driving in Tennessee this morning. And that gentleman is somebody I've not met, but I've not met in person like you, but he is constantly on Good Day Grenada with us. His name is T.F. Richards. He's from Snug Corner here, just across from Spice Basket. But right now he's on the road. T.F., say good morning to Beverley.
Morning, Mr. Steele.
How are you? Compliments
Great
of the
by the grace of God.
Compliments of the season
Aye.
to everyone.
Aye.
Happy holidays. Compliments of the season.
Many happy returns to you.
So we're going to try and ask him to keep his eyes on the road this morning. Beverley, listen, I was telling my viewers this morning, it's been such a long time since last you were here. I am so excited that you're back. What have you been up to, my friend?
I haven't been anywhere. I've been right here in Grenada.
Enjoying retirement?
Enjoying retirement for the first time. Before I always had this or that doing, but I've let a lot of it go. So this is the first time I can sort of stretch and say, oh my, what shall I do this morning, right? Without having a schedule. So that is what I mean. But of course, some interest I will always have. And I'm very glad to be here in spite of my vicissitudes like a broken down vehicle.
Yes, Beverley, there's somebody, I don't know if you know this lady, her name is Lydia James, I think it is. Hold on a sec. Where is it? She was just, oh yeah, sorry, Anthea Rello. Anthea Rello. Do you know John Rello?
I might know him, but I can't recall.
Anthea says, hi, Miss Steele. So nice to see you. Have not seen you in ages. I remember you from Marischal House.
Right.
Everybody remembers Beverley from
Everybody remembers, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but there are some people like Dennis, I don't think our relationship came out of Marischal House. It was really, and also you, Wendell, I think I met you differently. So I do move around Marischal House and out the gates as well.
Okay. I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm thinking, when I grow up, I want to be like Beverley. A lady at leisure retired. Beverley, you were not born here. You were Jamaican. But I said to you yesterday or whenever it was I invited you to this, she said to me, well, you know, I'm not Grenadian. I said, I'd like you to come and talk about the good old days. And she says, but I'm not Grenadian. And I said, Beverley, you're more Grenadian than most of us.
What I said, George, I have to correct you. Not that I'm not Grenadian, but I wasn't born here. I did not really have my formative years here. I came here at the age of about 30. But I am a Jamaican-born Grenadian. I'm definitely Grenadian. In fact, I identify now as a Grenadian, except when Miss Jamaica wins Miss World.
Okay. Beverley, what is it about Grenada that got you so hooked? You're hooked on this place.
Yes, I'm definitely hooked. From my before I came to live here, we used to visit every Christmas and sometimes in the summer as well. I spent 4 years in Trinidad before I came here. So that I knew Grenada by the time I came to live here. And there was a quality about it that I just loved. I'm very much one for romanticizing things. And to me, Grenada was a very romantic in the poetic sense. And I did not know it then, but I know it now that the scent of nutmegs hung in the air. Grenada has a different smell to anywhere, a fragrance I should say, to anywhere else. And all of this, together with the family that I met here and so on, prepared me for living here. And I must say that I have enjoyed living here. I would not now choose to live anywhere else.
You know, you mentioned the nutmegs, Beverley, and that just gave me a flashback. I had been away from this place for 16 years, and the night I stepped off the airplane at Point Celine, the first thing I smelled was nutmeg. There isn't a nutmeg tree near the Point Celine, but you could smell it in the air. And even when the cruise ships, you remember the days before we had the Melville Street port, the ships used to anchor offshore. Passengers will tell you that as soon as they step off the ship offshore, they can smell the nutmeg in this place.
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely. And as well as that, one of the things that I loved about Grenada was its bread. Now, we kind of lost the tradition, but my mother-in-law lived next door to Aline's shop. I don't know if you remember Aline's shop.
No.
And Aline's shop used to specialize, they didn't bake it, but they used to specialize in bread. Every single kind of bread that you could imagine. Coming from Jamaica and Trinidad, I was accustomed to loaves of sliced bread, right? But every kind of bread, and the fragrance used to come and mix with the nutmeg and other things. Gosh, yeah.
Beverley, having been here from the age of 30, which for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming is a little bit more than 2.5 years ago. I want you to, and this is where I'm going to bring Anthony in as well, because over that time, there's certain traditions I'm sure have jumped out at you, Grenadian traditions, you know. Maybe similar in some ways to Jamaican, maybe not. Speak to me for a minute about one of the most popular ones. Most popular Grenadian tradition that you're probably never, ever going to forget about this place.
Well, I've already mentioned the bread, huh?
Yeah.
I believe that Blue Danube and some other bakeries are continuing the tradition of baking the traditional, and actually it's a French heritage, huh? Different kind of penny bread and so on. But they're fast disappearing. And I hope we will never lose the tradition of baking breads in small bakeries. I know that we have now I don't want to give any free advertisement. There's a bakery that's doing loaf bread. You don't put it in a pan, so you don't get that regular shape, and it's all the more delicious. That is one kind of bread, and then you have your penny bread and so on. So I'm looking forward to the continuation, your butter bread and so on. continuation of that tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have all the traditions of cookery. I'm starting with the stomach, right? And the drinks. Dennis was talking a while ago about soursop ice cream, nutmeg ice cream, banana bread, using the local products to make unique Grenadian cuisine. But when I came here, the food was absolutely heavenly. And then I said, well, how come Grenadian food tastes so different and so delightful? And they told me it is the bouquet garni. Now they had to explain what they meant. But I wonder how many young people know what bouquet garni is. It is the group of spices that you tie together and you throw in the pot. Thyme and some other things, right? And if they don't know, that's a tradition lost that we need to revive. So then we have things like the dress, the beautiful dress that we have more or less abandoned, right? It should come out at Christmas time, every lady, instead of these tight looking dresses that are most uncomfortable. Put on your wide skirts that you can move in. You know, the gentlemen also have their colorful dress that they could wear, either cummerbund or a jacket, waistcoat with a white shirt. We have more or less abandoned that. Our dances, around this time, Christmas and New Year, you know, if you rent a school hall or some other hall.
Lions Den, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, Lions Den. Yeah. No, Lions Den was, I think, came after. I'm talking about Lancers and quadrille. Right. Lions Den, you would have your beautiful ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
And that also has been abandoned, right? The yacht club, not yacht club, tennis club used to be famous for their New Year's Eve.
Richmond Hill?
Oh, Richmond Hill Tennis Club. And I don't know anywhere. Somebody was telling me that they went to a New Year's Eve dance and they couldn't even move. It was so jammed. Okay, so, and as to ballroom dancing, forget it. You see it performed on stage, maybe some Latin dance. But we have lost the art of that kind of thing. It's jiggle, jiggle, wine, and that's it. Anybody does their own thing.
I'll tell you one other person who shares that view about the wine, and that's this guy here who's looking up to the sky there. Anthony!
Good morning, good morning.
You know, I'm sure you've seen Anthony. Anthony's very active on social media with some pieces he does, which brings back so many memories of days gone by. Anthony, you're sitting here listening to Beverley, and I bet you're having all sorts of flashbacks.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Are you hearing me good?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, let me say good morning to Beverley and all those on the program. And Beverley, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you in Grenada. I was there recently because you are one of the people that I actually want to meet, because your book on Grenada should be reading compulsory for all students in Grenada. It's such a wonderful book. But again, we are in an age where literature and history and the theater and all that stuff takes a backseat to jump up and whining. So we must say, and I have to say that I appreciate you as a person, your literary work, and I'm sure many people respect you for what you have done, putting Grenada's history together. Because I often say, Marcus Garvey, your own fellow man, made a very important statement when he said that the people who neglect the history and culture is like a tree without roots. You have no roots. What are you standing on? Nothing to hold on to. The Americans do it. The Chinese, who are spreading all over the world, they walk with their history. And we as Grenadians must respect and document our history. So in this regard, I must say thank you, Beverley. Personally, thank you to the world here for your wonderful work. Now, coming back to what I think tradition, our Grenadian tradition, I would say the warmth, the love. Christmas, the holiday season, was the only time you could go at somebody's house and eat cake, drink ginger beer sorrel. They invited you. There was a woman in my neighborhood. She used to call all the neighborhood children, bring them in, give them sorrel, ginger beer, and all that stuff. And we felt happy for sharing. We didn't have much. Some people say the word, the colloquial term, scrunching. But you know what? We had love. And as we delve into materialism and follow all the American pattern, we seem to forget that the people among us, some of them, they just don't have. So whatever we have, we should share the warmth, share the love. And I would like to see this continue, definitely. I would like to see that love and feeling that we as Grenadians are known for. I would definitely like to see it continue.
You know, you guys probably aren't aware of this, but you're arousing a lot of curiosity out there this morning in social media. Untitled says they should bring back the leavened bread.
Yes, that was one of them that we used to make and people used to enjoy. And I don't know when last I've seen it.
I don't know if you know Lydia James, but Lydia says, oh yeah, leavened bread was the best. Now, here's a note from Claudius McLeod. He says, as a kid, every yard in my village had a mud oven, right? Now most are gone. To this day, I can taste the deliciousness of coconut drops, tarts, pound cakes, and breads from those ovens. That's a tradition that should not be lost. Let me hear you.
Quite true. Now, mud ovens are wonderful, and there's nothing wrong in building one in your backyard. You may not choose to use mud, or you could use brick. Just like we have barbecues, you could cook your food on the stove, but then you could go outside and have a barbecue as well. So, the time is the essence for a lot of people. Most people do not have a lot of time, but surely at certain seasons of the year, and I would think for bread is more Easter than Christmas, you bake your own bread in the brick oven as part of your tradition, you know? And I would like to say, Wendell, I agree with you. The love is being replaced by some kind of viciousness and hate, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And I think one of the reasons why this love is disappearing is that we're abandoning our music. When you say the lady used to invite you all into her for a feast of ginger beer, sorrel, and cake, remember the adults, after the children are practically gone to sleep, the adults used to go from door to door to door singing. And they also used to get their share of cake and sorrel, and sometimes the sorrel had a little something in it, right? That serenading, that parang, as they call it in Trinidad. I will see it again. It devolved into a truck with people on it on Christmas morning singing. I don't even see that again. Some of the trucks had a steel band. I think we had one up in St. David somewhere.
This year?
One, yes.
Yeah, one past year.
Probably the same. One in the whole of Grenada, my goodness gracious, you know? So where is our traditions going? What are we replacing it with, you know? And these things used to bring so much joy and so much involvement of people in Christmas and the holidays. So I think we really need to seriously look at what we have lost and retrieve it before it's gone for good. An old gentleman told me once that in his village, this is when the Moko Jumbas used to come out. This is when the stilt walkers used to come out. Now, I don't mind if you bring them out for any and every occasion, but don't forget Christmas, because this is the origin of them. This is when they used to be practiced by anybody who could balance on those stilts. And if the tradition wasn't there, you couldn't use it for the prince, you couldn't use it at sports meetings, you could use it at carnival. So I would like to see some of these things, definitely. And before I give up the mic, the tradition of dressing for your your religious service. Now anything goes. Christmas, you put on your Christmas dress, you made a special Christmas dress, or bought a suit to wear to your service. Now, first of all, a lot of people don't go, and secondly, I mean, what are you celebrating? Christmas, right? And then they dress any old home, right? You don't see the pretty dandans that you used to see before. And people used to enjoy them, used to love to see the little children in their fancy wear, you know? And I think that visually and emotionally and culturally we are deprived.
And George, just for one moment here, when we speak of the good old days, I know you get a lot of backlash. People say, man, this man talking about every generation have a good old days. Somebody can reflect on some good times in the past. Yes, it's true. And what I want to say specifically is that change, I am not against change. Worthwhile change. Change for the better. Now, because we know the old adage, change is constant. Things are changing. But there are some things that must remain as constant, as Shakespeare says, the Northern Star. You got to keep it, because you want to tell me you're going to stop bathing? This is constant. You're going to stop. Respect, for instance. Let's think for just one moment of respect, especially for elders. All African societies where respect was high on the scale of things. Now, you have people disrespecting their grandparents, their parents, and, oh man, it's times have changed, get with the program and all that stuff. No. There are certain things that must remain constant. Respect is one. When I was a little boy in primary school, we had prefects. A prefect was a person like me, same age, but they made him a prefect, and if I came late or I said something bad, the prefect put me in line for blows. Now, I'm not well with this blows thing, but still, I'm just making a reference that we, at that time, had respect even for our students who were the same age with us. Now, so just saying that there are certain attributes, certain qualities that must remain with us. So when people say, okay, it's time, the good old days, times have changed, so many things have changed, and Google is making it worse, because students today, many of them, they don't even have to study. They get a question and they get somebody on the internet and say, or to Google it and change up the words and they answer the question, you know? So just to say that there are certain things that we must keep in a good range. And yes, change is good, but there are certain things that must remain as constant.
Lydia James says it would be very hard to bring back those traditions. The horse is already out of the stable. Very sad. Anthea Rollo says, totally agree with dressing for Christmas. I still do. So says Anthea. Now, somebody here by the name of Angus Farrays asking me, says, I would like you to mention the passing of your old neighbor, Mrs. Nash. Do you know a Mrs. Nash who died? Okay. Then Margaret Francis has an interesting comment here. Margaret says, interesting that she should mention the tennis club dance, because as someone who grew up in Richmond Hill, we also knew that it was a certain class who was allowed to attend that dance or even go on the premises. The rest of us could only peep through the bushes. Do you remember that?
Well, I don't remember it because I came here too late. But first of all, before I go into that, I would like also to pay respects to Mrs. Nash. I don't know her, but we have had so many deaths. Like Mrs. Prudhomme, Herbert's wife, died.
Herbert Prudhomme.
Yeah, his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Died, I think, on Boxing Day. Jimmy Manuel died early Christmas morning. And we have had a rush of others, if I could stop and think. So this is a passing of the guard.
Yeah.
And I'm going to latch on to that to answer the question about Richmond Hill. Sure, Grenada was and still is a very stratified society, and certain people are not allowed or feel uncomfortable or think twice about going to some places which they think are only for a certain set of people. Nevertheless, the point was that at the Richmond Hill New Year's Eve, people were dressed in ball gowns, they did ballroom dancing, and so on. And I'm sure they had lancers and quadrilles in the country, and they had other sorts of dances, maybe the same ballroom dances at other places, so that there was a culture of graceful and I would call it set dancing, certain steps that you had to learn to execute the dance properly. It doesn't matter if you still remember peeping in the doors at Richmond Hill. Did you see the ballroom dancing? Did you like it? Can we bring it back? Because the type of dancing that is a free-for-all has its place, there's nothing wrong in it, but it must not be the only type of dance. And ballroom dances, lancers, quadrille, and other kinds of dances are disciplined dances, and I think the society can do with plenty discipline.
More of that, yeah. Discipline. We had somebody here named Melvin Coutain talking about discipline through martial arts just last week, I think it was. Let me bring TF in here. TF, I know you're on the road. Keep your eyes on the road, fella. But
yes.
Tell me about some of the traditions of the past that you can recall and miss.
Well, George, the thing is, as Wendell said, technology is taking over the place. I don't disagree with technology, but technology has, to me, removed some of the sweetness from these eras. Like, I personally believe a cake tastes better when it was beaten with your hand than using a mixer. To me, it's at a better place. And you look forward to that because at home they would make more cakes around Christmas than during the year. So you look forward to that. Most people prefer sorrel, but growing up I always prefer ginger beer.
Okay.
And these are things you find they are going. Now, if you want to go around, take your cameras and go around St. George's and ask teenagers about the story of the nativity. They cannot tell you.
Oh, I think TF is frozen now.
Yes.
TF, okay.
The motivated.
TF, you there?
Yes, you hear me?
Yeah, okay, you're back with us now. You were frozen there for a minute. Go ahead.
Yes, and so a teenager now, unless that person, as we say, is in church, they would not know the story of a nativity. And gone are the days when you went to these lovely Christmas concerts where the whole nativity story was played out, or a Caribbean Christmas was played out. Sooner or later, we would have nothing in terms of the folklore. We would have nothing in our island to remind us of these olden days. And sad to say, we can't blame the youth because it's we the adults that stopped it.
Yeah.
Now, the love is changing. There is still love in Grenada, but the love you're seeing is alcoholic love, if I should put it that way. Visit your home for Christmas now is not to drink your sorrel or eat ham. One guy might tell one that TF for a bottle of Hennessy, let's go and done it. So they visit your home for not to spread Christmas cheer, but to basically consume alcohol and stuff like that. You know, even religiously, you as a kid growing up in, you look forward to Holy Innocents. As they say, you bring your favorite toy to the church and the priest will bless your toy. in terms of your clothes, that would be the first time you put on that new shoe or that nice bandana that was bought for you. You don't have that now. Christmas Day, the churches are empty, but the dance halls are filled. You know, and once we lose that part of it, the rest to me is already out the door. You know, serenading, not paranging. We are not supposed to be concerned about, as you say, people's business around Christmas. You sing Christmas songs, you bring joy, you bring cheer to the whole thing, and you enjoy it more. These are the things that we grew up to. I mean, I listen to Mrs. Steele. Mrs. Steele appears to be even more Grenadian than I am.
Yes, we're all saying the same thing.
Yes, and when they, I mean, I must stand these folks. These folks are when they you should be knighted. I know George will be influential to have you knighted in the next Queen's birthday, but the job that you're doing, man, the stories you're writing, the videos you're putting out on Grenada, man, you make us feel proud. You know, I mean, we live in Grenada and we don't see some of these things until you bring them out. Yes, we know they're there, but we don't see the beauty of it until somebody brings it out in such a, I may go as far as say, a romantic way. Because you're very placid about what you do, you know? So, I mean, I must thank you. And if we have people like that, trust me, that's when we will see pure Grenada. Not pure in terms of the politics we have in, but pure in terms of our flora and honor, you know? So, I mean, I wish 2020 you do much more of that and get more out there so we can spread that, you know, and maybe that would bring back what we know as Grenada, not what we see politically and the selfishness. You know, you look at technology now. I mean, as I tell people, could you imagine one day if all the cell towers in Grenada were to go down? It would be chaos because no talk to anybody because we always on our phones. You're in a home. There's a TV in every room now, and everybody has a cell phone. Whereas in my days, you had one 12-inch black and white TV. You all watch news together. You discuss it, you laugh, you eat supper, and then you went to bed. All these things are gone. Hurricane Ivan brought back some for a while.
Well,
okay.
we
need to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to pick up on something in terms of our culture and how advanced as a people we are and were. Now, when we were young, seemed like yesterday, but a lot of time passed. August holiday. Little boys took their fishing rod, made it from the bowling rod and put some the line on it and a hook. And we went on the rocks, Caranage or wherever, caught with little fish, snapper and the grunt and the cacaberry and all that. And you know what? You make a little broth. But it was a pastime. Fast forward to the United States where I now live. And I look at American movie theater or whatever on the television there. And I see two men on a lake in a boat. And they're fishing. And they're catching fish, but they do something that we never did. They put back in the water most times. We caught it and we kept it. But they have a whole television crew filming these guys. And I said to myself, years ago, we used to do the same thing, fishing, as the boys. Nobody brought a television crew for us. But it tells me, over past time, the joys we had in simple things. Patience, making a top, the grooves in the top. You think people have the patience? We in an age now where everything is fast food. We have the time span of a goldfish. Nobody want to wait for anything. So you're going to jam up Kentucky Fried Chicken because you don't want to cook. Whereas grandma years ago would take her time and make a cornmeal porridge or fish cake. But nobody have the patience now. And I say nobody, but there are people who do. So you have to understand that. But I'm just saying that the changes some of the changes that occur over time are not really good changes. Not. You cook your food. You have all the organic stuff there, but you prefer to go and jump up in some place and wait for half an hour to get something. It don't make any sense to me. Strengthen your body. All right.
All right, if I may, I would like to chime in.
Please do, Dennis.
Yes, it is interesting that you mentioned, Mr. DeRiggs, some of the things we lost. I could remember as a kid growing up in Tivoli Conference, which to me is the cultural capital of Grenada. We had a gentleman by the name of Mr. Maguire, was a tall man, and he worked with the Ministry of Culture, I think. And I think he was born in Riverside or something like that. And he would go around teaching folk dancing and folk singing, a lot of times in patois or Creole or something like that. And he would teach you the dances and all of that. You had to dress with your long skirt and all the different colors, African colors and head ties and so forth. And they would make concerts around Christmas and New Year's time in all the different schools, Tivoli School, Carrier School, Riverside, Hermitage, and so forth. And all the young kids would learn to sing those old songs. You know what I'm saying? Those things were passed on from generation to generation over time. And dance, you know, we had Tilingo and all of that. I mean, even today, you know, we have Tivoli drummers in Tivoli and all of that, but it went way back, really deep. There was a gentleman from Carriacou. As you know, Carriacou is blessed culturally, right, with all that parang and all of that stuff. So he originated from there. He was called Mr. Pitet. He was a small guy, so in French, you know, Pitet. So we call him Mr. Pitet. And he used to teach all of that too. But he was more connected with the Shango Baptist, Mother Annie, and Norman Paul and all of that. But it was so rich, you know, the things that we learned to sing at nights during moonlight. We would play games, hide and seek, moral. You talk about spinning top. I flew kite, flex kite, grown. Actually, last week, my brother was up in the country flying a boat kite in the air. He left it like 5 days until the kite couldn't sing no more. We have lost quite a lot. And we don't have any ministry interested in preserving our traditions. You know, everything is fast, quick, fast, whatever it is, with no focus on the future of preserving our uniqueness, our Grenadianness at all. And that is not good.
Dennis, quick fixes, I guess that's what you're talking about. I want to bring in the folks on social media here. Lydia James says, people hardly used to get sick a long time ago. We used to eat well. Eat what you grow and grow what you eat.
That's right.
Is there any yard fowl anymore? Thank you, Lydia. Thank you. John Franco says, at this point in my life, I'm trying to grow my own vegetables and beef. Somebody named Barb Searle says, Anthony DeRiggs is the greatest storyteller of our childhood days, who brings back so many old-fashioned traditions, memories, etc. He's such a humorous and inspirational man who gives us much happiness and laughter. Regarding the old-fashioned dancing, maybe communities can get together, like the Mount Morris Community Breakfast and their community services also in Guave. Famous breakfasts and community services too. Pardon me? Somebody said something? No? Okay. renewed purpose says, George, TF is so right. And what he is saying applies to nearly every aspect of life. When something is done with love and the energy of a cheerful human being, it does taste better. Anytime you allow automated machines to do certain things, especially what we take in, it tastes or feels different. Let me see here. Lydia James says, sorrel and ginger bay ain't going nowhere. It's here to stay. Okay, folks, let me take a little break here because I got to pay some bills, eh? And we're going to come back in just a wee bit.
GrenLec continues to celebrate 25 years of partnership and growth. So this December, we're giving every customer the chance to spin and win. Just pay your bill in full on or before December 18th. Then, on Wednesday, December 18th, join us at any GrenLec customer care location. Spin to win giveaways that will make this season even more festive. Hams, groceries, gift vouchers, wine, electricity vouchers, and more. Join the celebration. December 18th, spin and win with GrenLec. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
On behalf of the Hardware and Appliance Department, we would like to thank you, the customers, for shopping with us throughout the year of 2019.
And we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous 2020.
Season's greetings from your family at the food fair. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We here at the Hubbard's Lumber Department would like to say happy holidays to one and all. Thanks for your support and all the best for the 2020.
Happy holidays and warm wishes for 2020 from the management and staff of Hubbard's Agency Department.
On behalf of the management and staff of Jonas Brown and Hubbard's Building Supplies, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, our valued customers, for your support during the year 2019. And we look forward to your continued patronage throughout the year 2020. Happy holidays to you.
From the management and staff of the Hubbard's Motor Department,
we thank you for your continuous support throughout the year. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a productive 2020. Happy holidays!
Alrighty, folks, we're back with my guest here this morning, Beverley, Steele, Dennis Charles out there in Georgia, Anthony DeRiggs out there in Brooklyn, and also T.F. Richards, who's on the road in Tennessee this morning. Beverley, listen to this comment here from Yvonne Joseph. She says, "I never forget all of those clubs that went around singing Christmas carols. Mr. Crofton McGuire's Glee Club was one of the leading groups in Grenada. This club originated from River Sally in St. Patrick. He was the best. As a youth, I was a member of River Sally Glee Club. I miss those days."
I was very fortunate to have met Mr. Crofton a while.
Yeah.
I met him in his very mature days, but he was as charming, I'm sure, as he ever was in his youth. And I know of the valuable contribution he made to Grenada. And it would be such a shame. He loved the dances, the quadrille and the lancers. He loved to sing, as we have heard. He worked with the youth. It would be very sad that his whole life work should now be wasted. And we must not forget people like Pansy Rowley and her glee club here in St. George's, and the work she did to popularize the local dances. People were absolutely scandalized when she put them on stage, but she was a strong woman and persevered, and look, the local dances are accepted, or variants of it, as part of people's dance repertoire. So we had giants of culture, and to take Thelma Phillips and a lot of other giants of culture, and to some extent they passed it on to people like Ann Peters and Gloria Payne Banfield and others I don't know so much about in the country, but you have, what's his name, the Tivoli drummers who I'm sure came under the influence, and other people. But local culture and the performing of it is being severely threatened by influences from outside. And I think one of the reasons why I will always praise Dominica, our sister island Dominica, is that they don't let it happen. They are proud of their culture, they're proud of their dress, they're proud of their songs, they're proud of their bands. What in Barbados, I don't know what the term here, but in Barbados they call it tuck bands, walk with it, right? I haven't seen that in Grenada for the longest while, the little drums and the pipes and so on. We used to have a band to accompany every dance troupe. We used to have orchestras playing. Where are they? Dennis Malin Smith. Where are his successors? Yeah. You know, the media, when we want to blame the media can also be a tool. Okay? Look at what Anthony is doing with his stories of Grenadian culture. If it wasn't for the media, what audience would you reach, Anthony? Wendell? I know you have two first names and I get confused. Where would you reach? Where would you reach with your stories? And then it's your stories are growing up in Tivoli. If it wasn't for the media, I would never have met either of you. Or, no, for the first time, the gentleman driving there in
TF.
Yes. I would not have met you, no, except look at this very program that is stimulating so much discussion on the media. So media can be a good thing. And Wendell, I'm going to throw this out to you. A little series on our breads, okay? Write up a little series with photographs if you can. I'm sure you could get them off somewhere of each different kind of bread we used to have, and let people know about them. One of the things I want to praise you all for, Dennis and you and TF, and the rest of you listening abroad, is that this culture seems to be stronger once you leave Grenada. Maybe you miss it, I don't know. But a lot of very, very strong support is coming from outside of Grenada. And I want to make sure that you feed it back in. You see? Feed it back in, because the poor young people, they like lost sheep. So come back, or write about it on the media, or inspire somebody to recapture some of these things.
There's a note here from M. Claudius McLeod. He says, one of my favorite childhood memories is stumbling home in the dark after a night of serenading in the village.
Right. Yeah, there was no street lights.
Yeah.
And in fact, my experience of no street lights really comes from Carriacou, because we were in Carriacou and we went to see a film in the school to Bishop's College, Mr. Nahaiko is showing us this film. 3 of us ladies from Marishu House. Mrs. McIntyre, Peace Corps, myself. When we left the school, it was dark. We were going back to Silver Sand, and there were no street lights. Talk about stumbling. So I kind of relate to that experience of stumbling. But I'm sure you reached home safe. So did we. So did we. So when Dennis was talking about telling stories in the moonlight, the umpteen poems and songs about moonlight, when you used to sit around in a circle, and sometimes the stories were good, but sometimes you used to frighten yourself so much that it was not stumbling, but rushing, no matter what, because you were so frightened. Yeah? So all of that art of storytelling, fast dying, and I think we should revive it. Ricardo Kings Douglas does marvels with his storytelling. And he's an outstanding example of a Grenadian storyteller. Of course, you, Wendell, you write down yours, but I hope you have the verbal aspect as well. And Dennis, apart from your serious writing, get into some of this folklore thing and perform it. You don't have to perform it on stage, just to your friends. And let us get back into this tradition.
You listening, Wendell?
Well, our history and our culture, it's so interesting. I'm actually struggling with this new book, although I have completed it and I brought it to Grenada to be edited again. Because when I look at our culture and our history, because of course you know that Grenada was once, well, the Caribs and the Kalinago, which Beverley want to make sure, say Kalinago and Galibi, call them by the right name. Then you had the French and the English, and you had people came from various parts, all seen Beverley's book. From Madeira, people don't know that people from the Portugal came to Grenada, a whole mixture. So what you have, words develop, what some words are using Grenada, I don't know where it come from. I'm trying hard to find out. And I'm not trying to actually put that in the book, where those words came from.
Why don't you throw, Anthony? Anthony, why don't you throw some of those words? I know you've thrown some of them at me. Why don't you throw some of them at Beverley and see she knows?
Kabuse, somebody, Kubla, Kabuse, you know, words like that.
Kabuse?
Don't eat too much ashamboy, you go puff, you know, which is like you get a bad belly, stomach, and stuff like that. And it's a whole lot of them. You know, a guy called Papuntan, well, TB. You know, one of the interesting things is that that's why I would not try to go to the roots of these words, because somebody's going to claim it. Trinidad might say that's not Grenadian word, but so it's a Caribbean word. It's a Caribbean thing. We are brothers, yes, sisters and brothers.
Well, a lot of the dialect in Trinidad came directly from Grenada, so you're going to find the meaning.
Because and it's written in your book, because when the English started to oppress the French Grenadians around the 1790s and so, many of them headed for Trinidad and they took their culture with them. They headed. This is why, and going on, when they had the Carib Clip and the Madinina and all this, both the Federal Maple and the Federal Palm going to and for Trinidad, from Trinidad. Many Grenadians went down there. That's why somebody in Point Fortin would say about Uncle Harry in Birch Grove, Aunt Ruby in River Road, because we are connected. We are connected. So the words evolved over a period of time, and it's very interesting. And the reason I say I'm actually struggling with that is because there are so many of them. It's like emptying the water on the carnage. The more you see, there's more and more to see. No, the more you see, the more to see. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because you know what is interesting? In the words themselves, it's a history of the country. So somebody could talk about Masanto, or somebody call it Flambeau. Now you take the Masanto. When in the estate life, it brings on the whole estate history, because somebody on the estate was going to light the Masanto when the sun go down, because Massa wants you to work in the night. So you light the Flambeau or the Masanto and you pick up that cocoa, the nutmeg, or whatever fruit you have to pick up. So in the words itself is a history of the country, a wall of history in the word sky red. But I don't want to get into the realm of history, because with the historian on them, and she might just say, well, no, that's not the right thing. Anyway, There are so many interesting words that we have in Grenada. Our culture is diverse. Which country in the Caribbean could tell you about a boat that's born in the harbor, right? Which country could tell you about Kikam Jenny out there? Which is so many things in the country and around the country. We have people from SGU, the university down there, medical school. Every weekend they go on and hike. They call it hashing or something like that, similar to hiking. We did that years ago. Clary, the scout master. We went up Granitang. How many kids today are going on hike? We discovered things that of course, we like to say we discovered, because they are saying they discover now, going on hike and hashing and whatnot, and seeing they discover waterfall, which probably we saw years ago, but we never really put it out there. So it's so interesting. But come back to you, Brother George, about the words.
Hold on, Anthony. Hold on. Anthony. We really need to get the people on social media in here. Okay, so we're gonna get back to you in just a wee bit.
Yeah, because once you get press started, man, you have to put a brakes on in.
I know. And then there's TF we have to bring in. We got to bring in Dennis, everybody. So hold on a sec here. Lizda Sawney says she's watching in Bowie, Maryland. We Caribbean folks in the Washington area last Sunday at Maryland University featured a Caribbean Christmas with the stories of Christmas in the Caribbean produced by Dr. Merle Collins and members of Caravision. It was very well received. Benjamin Rouget says, and Benjamin, I hope you wrote this well because I haven't pre-read it. Brethren, technology allows us speed. So much more could be done in a lifetime. If students use Google to solve problems in 5 minutes that used to take 25 minutes in the old days, will they be wasting that 20 minutes difference, or that 20 minutes are put into useful means? Our teaching today continues. Goodbye. Let's see here. There's a saying that Lydia James is saying this here. Don't take shame and shake Kukube hand. You know that one, Wendell?
What is it? Can you repeat it?
Don't take shame and shake Kukube hand.
Nah, that's a good one. I got to include that one. I got to get in touch with her.
She's also asking, so how come people like Wendell and Ricardo are not being knighted? What is the criteria?
Well, not knighted. I'm not looking for me knighthood. Oh, look, my joy is not to get an award. I live in New York, and I do this every time. I'm with the Jamaicans, the other Caribbean people I do, and they show a lot of appreciation for what I do. I left New York and went all the way to Orlando to get an award. I never got one in New York. I'm not doing it for an award. I'm doing it when I walk the street of St. George's in Grenville and I meet somebody who don't know me, a young boy, come up to me and shake my hand and say, sir, I'm glad to meet you. I appreciate what you're doing on social media. I follow you on Childhood Days in Grenada, and I like what you're doing. That's my joy. I don't want a medal. Okay. That's my joy. That's my reward.
There's a comment from Yvonne Joseph. She says, there was also a Miss Pansy Rowley from St. George's. And this great musician, Professor Denicky, those were the days. She's responding to something you said earlier on, Beverley. By the way, folks, there's a gentleman, I don't know how many of you know this gentleman. His name is Arthur Langdine. Arthur lives in New York, but he's Grenadian. And I invited him to be with us this morning. And Arthur really wanted to be with us this morning. Unfortunately, this morning, Arthur also boarded a cruise ship, one of the celebrity ships. And by the way, there's a celebrity cruise ship in town this morning, the Silhouette. And right now, Arthur is listening to you guys riding out into the Atlantic on the celebrity, I don't know which celebrity ship, but just wave and say hi to Arthur. Okay. Folks, break time, and then we're going to come on back and continue with TF and Anthony and Dennis and Beverly and everybody.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Christmas safety tips. Always unplug Christmas tree lights before leaving home or going to sleep. Check your tree lights and outdoor lights for damage each year before you use them. Discard lights with frayed wires, loose connections, and cracked sockets. Do not overload your wall outlets or extension cords. Remind children never to touch lights or outlets. Select lights appropriately. Never use indoor lights outside or vice versa. Happy holidays from Grenada.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Yes, sirree, we are back. He's been very quiet, keeping his eyes on the road. T.F. Richards, you're sitting here listening to all of that. Are you reminiscing, just listening to these folks all talking about them good old days? T.F.?
Well, yes, I'm reminiscing. Yes.
Okay, I think TF may be in an area now where the coverage is a little bit questionable. Try again, TF. Let me see if I can hear you better now.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but the coverage is just not what it was earlier on. Anyhow, go ahead. Say what you wanted to say. TF. Okay.
The weather is bad.
Yeah.
On what these folks are speaking about. Yeah, it's really a lot now.
Miles next to right, then turn left.
We're hearing you, TF, but really, really poor quality. Philip Jack is saying here, great to see my homeboys, Anthony, holding court. I grew up on the Lance and know about the things that he speaks about. People like my brother and keepers of the culture, or as the gatekeepers. Okay. Now, Anthony, we, believe it or not, boy, time's really flown on us, and we only have about 25 minutes left. So I want you to pull one of your best out of the bag, Anthony, and then I'm going to go over to Dennis and hear what Dennis has to say. pull one of your best guys, because before you know it, time's gone. So let me hear you.
Well, I'll have to. Let me see. I'll have to dig it up somewhere. Okay, I may have to change position.
Nah, just off the top of your head, man.
A piece?
Yeah.
Like a piece?
Just give me something real quick.
An inspiring piece, I'll give you a short piece.
Okay.
A long piece. Years ago, an old woman, Miss Margaret's mother. I like to close my eyes when I say this because it has meaning and it's going to reach people, showing the Grenadian love. Years ago, Miss Margaret's mother, old lady, she gave me a mango. And she saw me again. She gave me another mango. I picture her today with a broomstick in the yard. A tear falls from my eyes because I feel the love. She died before I could have given her anything. But I picture Miss Margaret's mother who gave me simple thing, a mango, and gave me another mango. And I met her grandson in New York. And he said, boy, Granny Leneve, when she put Wendell mango there, none of us could touch it. You know what? That is the kind of love that I admire and I feel. So it all goes back to this. Love, as we Grenadians knew it. Be here for a short time. All of us will be pushing up daisies, as the Americans say, in a short while. So show some love. She showed me some love. I don't know why this came to my head right now, but this is it, George.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. And hold on a sec, because somebody named Kipling Francis is listening to you in New York. And Kipling says, Mr. DeRiggs, I'm happy to hear you say you're not about awards. The wrong people are getting awards for who knows what. The best award is an appreciation for what you do. You have my greatest appreciation, and I'm sure that many, many people share my sentiment. If life was fair, you would have been knighted. Yeah, why don't we put together a petition? Anthony for knighthood.
No, not knighthood, not knighthood. I was walking in Grenada recently. Actually, not Grenada, Belmont, coming on a hill. And two people called me at the same time. Come have a cup of cocoa tea and bakes. And you know what? They knew me from Facebook. They just looked at me and knew that is my joy. An award you put on a shelf somewhere. I'm a people person, and I like to be the real thing.
All right.
What you see is what you get.
All right. Let me try now and bring Mr. Charles in here. Mr. Charles.
Yes, sir. I am here listening, very excited, especially the words of Mr. DeRiggs, whom I have met and I have great admiration for. I want to touch on something serious in my 2 minutes, or maybe minute and a half. The social fabric of our country is very important. The love that we had from before, way back when, the way we were brought up, if we can bring that back or work on it, a ministry of culture, as I mentioned, Mr. Peter, Mr. Maguire, teaching the old dances and all of that, singing French or patois and all of that, bring it back in the schools. We used to have courtesy week or courtesy month where you had to put your shirt in your pants and be polite and say good morning, sir, or good morning, whatever. You couldn't be rude, right? Because we had prefects in schools. I went through that. Those were the good old days. And yes, we got some belt on our backs if we misbehave, right? But you never know. Now looking back, we value those days. They are gone anyway, but we value them now. Grenada is special. I want to return. I love my country, but there must be a mindset change. We got to stop talking about foreign investors and start talking about reverse flow. That brain drain going out, all the young nurses trying to go to England, everybody looking for greener pastures. What about having them return the next way, coming back with their talents, the expertise, you know? Get professionals to bring back their retirement income and all of that. Let us do that reverse flow brain drain. And I don't want to get into politics, so leave that for another time. Probably I should end it here. Grenada is too beautiful. We could build, but Grenada has to be built by Grenadians, not foreign investors. That's all I want to say.
All right, let me try it. Very well said, very well said. And I want it to be clear that it's not that people are speaking out against foreign investment, because foreign investors have helped us a long way. But I think Grenadians are becoming more acutely aware that there's a lot of exploitation taking place. And I think this is what is causing a lot of resentment, you know, especially when you see your patrimony just slipping through your fingers and going elsewhere. That has rubbed a number of people the wrong way. TF, still rating?
Yes, sir. Somewhat, yes.
Oi. Well, TF, I mean, come on, you got to talk to Beverley before she goes, man. I mean, Beverley comes in here once every 10 years. I mean, come on, talk to her before you go.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are now.
Okay. Well, again, I must say I'm thankful to the thoughts brought out by the panelists this morning. I mean, it actually makes me feel like I'm driving through GRENADA now. I'm in Grenada. But the thing that bothers me, George, is that we have all of these expertise in Grenada. We have locals who are versed, but because of your, should I say, political affiliation or who you know and who you don't know, some of it are just swept under the carpet. For example, Mr. Charles spoke this morning about breadfruit. And well, I was a police officer home for 23 years. I worked in CID. So I visited the produce chemistry lab on a regular basis. And I don't know if you know a gentleman, but he lives in Anglia, Dr. Guy Marcel.
Oh, yes.
He was
Okay. I think we lost TF again.
And this gentleman was making breadfruit flour culture. We have the expertise in Grenada. It makes you wonder what's the meaning of the Cultural Foundation, or should it be the Grenada Carnival Foundation? Because after Carnival, you don't hear them. No, you had all these things in schools, all these choir competitions which brought out folk songs and stuff like that. So I don't want to say gone the days, because as long as we are living, the days are still here. So as Wendell said, don't wait until we start pushing our daisies. Let us plant bougainvillea and buttercups now. Plant the culture now. And because maybe we will have to get a contingent of persons from the US to come home and join hands with the people like yourselves, like Ann Peters, like RKD and these people, you know, have an evening of storytelling in Cameron Park or in Quarantine Point, something to bring out, to bring back this culture. Maybe if we do that, we will be able to jumpstart an era where we rejuvenate our culture into the island and bring back the pure Grenada. But unless we do that, I don't know how long we'll be pure for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Powerful stuff. What were you saying there, Dennis?
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, Dennis is in agreement with what TF was saying. You know, boy, we just have to be very determined and continue the fight. We have a lot of uphill challenges. I don't think we will ever, listen to this, I don't think we will ever be able to bring back the past, okay? But there's certain things happening in our lives today that we really appreciate and admire and should strive to preserve so that down the road we can look back and talk about the good old days. Agree?
Yes, we're not striving to bring back the past. First of all, it's impossible.
Right.
And second, it's not desirable. What you do is to build on the past. So study what happened, people who contributed, what the culture was like, seek to preserve some of it in writing. That is Anthony's business. And then see how we can mold it in with the technology and the modern way of doing things. So for example, the lancers and the quadrille, you might not find them being danced every weekend. You can find them more danced in presentation form, and nothing is wrong with that. So I think that we must never lose our culture. We must not lose our way. We have a way of liking to say, oh, we are African. First of all, we're not African. We're descended from West African peoples with a lot of other mix. But I always say, you know, we have lost what it is to be African. We do not respect the elders. We do not respect their knowledge. We don't listen to them when they are telling us stories of the past. We care nothing about the culture. We are looking towards North America and adopting the worst of their culture.
Yeah.
And we are not preserving what we can own as Grenadian or West Indian culture. And this makes us definitely not African, because Africa does all of these things. So maybe what we need is to really study our roots and see where our opinions are. I think in the beginning of the program, somebody said somebody without culture is like a tree without roots.
Right, right.
And the faintest breeze brings it down, okay? So let us start almost from scratch to recover some things, to document them, and to build on them. Let us use the new tools we have, like the technology, like Facebook, to bring to the young people the knowledge of the things, like how much breads we used to have, what were the dances like, you know, film some dances, the Tivoli drummers, put them on, so that people can get more exposure. And you people in the United States and wherever you are, because I know your listenership is wide, send back videos of your activities so that those on Facebook can see, learn, and copy.
Absolutely. John Franco says, so true, Miss Steele. You know John?
I know a John Franco, but I don't know if it is the same John.
Okay. By the way, a little while ago when TF was talking about, you know, things that we need to bring back, Margaret Francis here said, like the evening of storytelling at Camahan Park.
Right.
You remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Ernesto says, also not forgetting Shirley Robertson from St. Patrick.
No, we can't forget her at all. No way.
Yeah, she did a great job for culture.
There are a lot of people who have not been mentioned. And I think we should realize that surely, but they're like Lauren Ramdani, and I work with the music and with the choirs. And a lot of teachers out there who, I don't know who they are, but I know that there was a lady, Val Jane Charles, up in Birch Grove, that preserved a lot of the folk dance. But it's only when I start to think of them that the names come up, and I'm sure there are people I don't even know of. Two people, a husband and wife, who did a lot for preserving our cultures. Willie Redhead and his wife Eula Redhead. And we are talking about preserving the patois. A lot of her stories about compare Zaire,
Yeah, and compare Tig.
compare Tig. A lot of it incorporated great swatches of patois. And somebody now is researching Eula, but I don't know if anybody, I guess she'll be in touch with them. But we have to try and get her stories back because a lot of them were not published. And this is another one of the tragedies, how much we lose because it is so difficult to publish. Wendell can vouch to that, and Dennis perhaps, and I know how difficult it was to get those two books of mine published.
Yeah.
So unless we can find a way to make it easier for people, a lot of really worthwhile stuff that is written will not see the light of day. But if it has been performed, people will remember it forever.
You know, there's some talk about whether or not we are a reading community. And I'm starting to debate that because look at how many people are on Facebook nowadays. What's Facebook? It's all about reading.
Exactly. Visual too.
Yeah.
But it depends on how you choose your pages and choose your friends on Facebook.
Thank you.
It is your novel, it is your magazine, it is your newscast, it is everything you want to make it. If you want to make it a scandal sheet, that is your business.
Yeah. Somebody, oh, by the way, John Franco says, yeah, he's the same John Franco.
Hello, John.
Hello, John. Somebody here named Hudson George. No, I'm not sure it's the Hudson George, but the person says, Trinidadians cannot claim Grenadian French Creole patois words because Trinidad was never colonized by the French. Grenada is like Egypt, while Trinidad is like Greece. Rural Grenadians still have a French Creole accent.
That may be true, Hudson, but Grenada colonized Trinidad to a large extent, and the French influence in Trinidad, a lot of it stems from the Grenadian migrants. Now, you tell that to a Trinidadian, they're getting very upset, but people get upset at the facts, right? So Trinidad owes a huge debt to Grenada for their French Creole culture.
Well, listen to this one. This is sure to put a smile on your face, Beverley, because Margaret Francis lives in New York. She's here in Grenada right now. Dear friend of mine. But Margaret, she's a Trinidadian. Well, listen to her comment. Why does it always have to be Grenada versus Trinidad? Why can't you just celebrate Grenadians?
Well, actually, Margaret, remember we were supposed to be a unitary state. And then at the last minute, all the research was done and everything, and then Eric Williams pulled Trinidad back. So if you are saying that, remember what Eric Williams did. He said he didn't want Grenadians after all. But you cannot deny the fact that you'd have very little French heritage, if any at all, if it wasn't for those Grenadian migrants.
Beverley, thank you. Let me put all of you guys up on the screen there right now because we're just about run out of time on this Sunday morning. I can't find the words to express my appreciation that I have such an illustrious group joining me here this morning. Let me start with you, Anthony. Boy, I constantly look forward to your little pieces. Keep them coming. In these difficult times, it's nice to have something we can look back on and reminisce, you know. I hope it serves to energize us from time to time as we contemplate what lies ahead. I also want to thank TF. It's the first time I finally get to see TF, and I can't believe it. How many miles have you driven since we started talking this morning, TF? A lot.
225.
Wow.
Jeez. Jeez. And this man has joined us on the road this morning. Thank you, TF. We do appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing
By
it.
the way, I'm now in Alabama.
He's now in Alabama.
Okay, look at that.
Started in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing a lot more of you, sir, and just keep your eyes on the road, please, please.
No problem. No problem. Anytime. Feel free.
Yeah. Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Never a dull moment with you, is there?
Absolutely not.
I admire your dedication. In fact, all three of you, gentlemen, and this lady here as well, all three of you, all four of you are very, very committed to this country. I know of your love for this country. I understand the frustrations because I've been through many myself, but we just have to keep on trucking. And despite everything that is happening, I am looking forward with a great deal of optimism to what 2020 holds for us. Ain't got any idea where it's going, but I know it couldn't be worse than this year, and we're going to move forward and upward. And I hope that we can do it as a team. You know, there's strength in unity, they say. And those of you out there in the diaspora, I know that sometimes it's very frustrating for you to deal with people back here as you try to help. Just understand that we're living in two totally different environments. We may not always see eye to eye, but don't give up on us. Don't give up on us. And I'm asking those of us here to try and learn from some of those who have had the opportunity and the blessing to live overseas. I say some because, I mean, some of the stuff that some of the people in the diaspora want to bring back to us here, I sure hope we never ever see it. I really do, and that's me. I'm blunt. I speak what's on my mind, okay? But I know that there are a lot of you out there who are genuine and really, really want to help this country forward. And I hope that you will be strong.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, brother.
Anthony?
Thank you very much.
And as for this lady here, you know, Beverley, oh boy, it's been said not just by me, but by others on the program this morning. You're more Grenadian than all of us. Beverley, if more of us were like you, girl, boy, we'd have one bang-up country in this place. Thank you very much for all that you've done over the years. I remember that beautiful piece you did on Paul Schoon. So Paul was a very, very dear friend of mine. Played a lot of tennis together. Oh, the ball, George, hit the ball here, not there, hit the ball here. I love that man, okay. Thank you. Come and see us again.
Thank you, George, and it's always a pleasure. It always gives me a lift to be here, to speak to you, and to speak to people like Dennis and Anthony and T. I only remember the T, and I want to call him TJ, but I don't know why.
TJ, that's it.
TJ, all right.
T-W-E-J.
I got it. So it's a really pleasure, and I hope that George will bring us all together again for another discussion.
Yeah, thanks all. Folks, as we do every Sunday morning, we end the program with a parting word from the Holy Scriptures. And today's reading is very short, very simple. It comes to you from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. That's it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Short and simple. Folks, as you wrap up this year, contemplate those words. And let us be thankful, even through the tough times. Let us be thankful. Let's try to have positive thoughts about what lays ahead of us. Those who see things you may not like or agree with, hey, no problem. Be critical. Be critical. I'm critical. But for God's sakes, no need to be malicious when you're criticizing. Criticize so that you lift people up, not take them down. My prayer for you is that we will all be blessed in 2020 and beyond, and remember, every day, give thanks to God. Give thanks to God. See ya.